Ascended Masters Podcast.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase.
Live from the Bricks Ascended Masters Podcast. Live from the Bricks Ascended Masters Podcast. Live from the Bricks Ascended Masters Podcast. Live from the Bricks Ascended Masters. Face it. They thought we wouldn't make it, but watch how far we take it.
Yeah.
Watch how far we take it. Take it.
Welcome back to Ascended Masters Podcast. Once again, we have a very special episode for y'all. This is on episode 5. And like we said at the end of the last episode, we was having a conversation that we want to extend. So we have brother Nyriq, King Nyriq, back again to extend that conversation. Last conversation we kind of touched on finding your own path and just standing 10 toes down on what you see for yourself and sticking to that, being loyal to yourself and running with God got for you. So this time we're going to kind of do some question and answers to get y'all acclimated with who we are, let y'all know where we coming from and what we represent. And so the first question is just on them same lines. So I want to ask you, Nyriq, stemming from the last conversation, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, my brother, what advice would you give?
I would just give myself the advice to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more disciplined. Like, don't rush things through life. Take your time, and it's going to be a process. It's going to be a journey, but you're going to make it through at the end. You feel me? Like, the hard times, it's going to be ups and downs, a lot of them. And as you going through them, continue to hold your head high. And there's going to be moments when you don't know. You honestly don't know, and ain't nobody going to be able to tell you because a lot of people won't be able to understand what it is that you want and what your purpose in life really is. So just continue to stay focused and continue to grow and find yourself. When you need something to be answered, don't ask nobody else. Just look within and you're going to find the answer.
I think that's great advice, man, because sometimes we can get advice from people and it's their perspective on it. You know what I mean? And it's not that it's wrong advice, but it might not be tailor-fitted for you and your situation. Sometimes, you know what I mean, we on a certain customized path that's designed for us. And there's certain lessons on that path that's specifically designed for us to grow and learn from, that's going to elevate us individually so we can see what the bigger picture is when it comes to life. I know, some of the advice that I would give probably myself when I was younger, speaking to my younger self, is to trust myself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I put faith in maybe parents or maybe elders that had their perspective on it. And not that I didn't go with my instinct, but I kind of put more emphasis on that outside advice when I was younger, more so than I should have, just reflecting on self and getting that straight from the source. So once I learned how to plug into the source, it was like a whole different perspective on seeing, man, even to the point where you could kind of see things before they happen and move accordingly. We're going to move into the next question. And I did skip the greeting, so pardon me. Nyriq, if you want to greet the people before we get into the second question, please feel free just to give them a good greeting, you know what I mean?
I'm just here to show y'all and just allow everybody to learn from my experiences, my life experiences, my journey, and also brother King Quaz, his journey. And we just here to help the people grow, help ourselves grow.
That's right, man. It's about growth and development, man. And we at a pivotal time in the world today where we see certain things transitioning. From my perspective, I see a lot of the old ways of doing things kind of getting rooted out, just on a physical, mental, and spiritual plane. And it's a new wave of energy coming through that's geared towards more positivity, that's geared towards more unity, and that's geared toward more prosperity. And we definitely glad to be a part of that energy that's coming through.
For sure.
Next question, Nyriq. What's a controversial or unpopular opinion that you may hold that normally you probably wouldn't be willing to discuss. You ain't got to go that deep, but something that you wouldn't mind sharing with the people that may be a little controversial than they're normally hearing.
I'll probably have to say politics. As far as my understanding and my standpoint on it, I just look at it like it's economic. Like our people coming from like the black, the black community, and like coming from poverty-stricken places, and even if you haven't, you was raised different places like me. I was raised in PA, so they didn't even just full poverty-stricken, but the mindset of my family, it travels to where you grow up. So
That's
I would
a
just
fact.
say it don't. I view it as if it's not really for us. You feel me? To understand, like the only thing that is to understand is the economics. If you understand economics, you understand politics. I feel like a lot of people get too invested, looking too deep into who's gonna be president and what they gonna do while they president. I look at it like they all do the same thing. Nobody it's a wealth gap. It's either the money gonna get funneled through the bottom to go to the top. So like it has to touch us. It has to come through us. So as long as you understand that and how it's happening, like the process of how it's happening and when it's happening, then you'll be fine. Like, don't pay no mind to the agenda that they pushing. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, 'cause they just pushing it on you and they confusing the masses. Like, you feel what I'm saying? They confusing us and having people lost and, oh, Kamala Harris this or Trump that as far as the current situation. And it's just like, ain't too much going to change anyway. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to be a bunch of the same things going on. They all got agenda, like,
Yeah.
you mean? Like right now, Kamala Harris, she was a DA, the head attorney general. So it's guaranteed that some people look at it like she's going to help as far as community policing and stuff like that. Like, but at the same time, how many people is she going to send to jail? Because it's a give and it's a take.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I look at it like with Trump, I'm not a Trump supporter or nothing like that, but economics, like, you know what I mean? It's controversial, the things that come out of his mouth, a lot of the things that he's trying to do, but he knows economics, he knows money, and money is the only thing that can really help our people, uplift our people. It's not going to bring you happiness, but it could allow our people to be put in better positions, living conditions, and insurance, and a lot of things, you feel me? A lot of things that we really need within our community comes from financial disparity.
It's definitely the finances is definitely the foundation when you're living in a capitalistic society or even any society for that matter, dealing with the material aspect of life. Me, my take on it is a little different. I studied politics and geopolitics for a long time, so I see different aspects when I look at what's going on. It reminds me, what you're saying though, reminds me of a quote, and I could be saying this dude's name wrong. Anders Rothschild, one of the early Rothschilds. This is back in the 1800s. He's quoted as saying, "Give me control over a country's economics, and I care not who runs their politics." So it's like basically what you're saying, right? You know what I mean? It all comes down to the economic aspect. And there's a lot of lobbying forces in politics that controls a lot of these so-called elected officials. And so me, I have a whole different take on it. If I was to bounce that question back to me, man, it would probably be, what's a controversial or unpopular opinion that I hold and I'm willing to discuss would be probably the whole Palestine-Israel situation that's going on. I see it as a humanitarian crisis, man. I see it as a situation where the world is watching atrocities on a scale that is just unfathomable, and it's been going on for a long time. And I know the politics over there goes back to what we're saying, right? Anders Rothschild, economics, and the control of geopolitics. And I don't condone what happened on October 7th, pardon me. I don't think violence will ever solve the problem. I think violence just begets violence. I think it has to be a diplomatic situation, but all parties has to be willing to sit at the table and negotiate. And I'm not sure if that's the case in that particular situation. I don't want to get too deep on that, though.
I'll touch on that, though.
Absolutely.
I feel like it been happening, like, in history. It been happening, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it happened in America. Like, it's just a part of the way that the world designed at this point, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't invest my time too much into it because it's like it's uncontrollable. At the end of the day, like, people going to take land that's not theirs. Like, people going to take, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it shows with America. Look how America, one of the strongest countries in the world, but it was taken.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, so you just gotta understand, like, if you get an understanding on that, I feel like, and it's just like, understand where you at. Like, we in America, and that's the history of here. So if you understand the history of here, then it'd be much easier to understand what's going on other places.
Absolutely, man, because believe it or not, the U.S. got their hands in a lot of what's going on in the world, man. So with that said, let's move on to the next question. Can you describe a future world you like to see and the steps that it would take to get there?
Future world that I like to see, like, I just want to see our people win. Like, that's all I really want to see. Like, our people win, and like, we in Newark, New Jersey, and I see a lot of that going on right now. Like, a lot of people, like, there's a lot of organizations out here that's going back and they touching the communities. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they hands on with the youth, and I had the opportunity to work with one of the organizations, a couple of them actually, like, critique and what they got going on, just to get to witness and interact with the youth. And they doing major things, they making major moves within the community, and they changing the community. And a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't even see what they really doing. But the things that they doing is like, is meaningful. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, they changing the narrative. They helping people realize things before they have to go to prison to sit down and realize it and come to terms with it the hard way when you done missed 10 years or, you know what I mean? Like, they catching it early on, and that's detrimental for, like, our society, for real. Like, it's very impactful, it take people who been through it to be able to do it. So
that's right.
Like, it's hats off to those organizations. Shout out to New Direction, OVP, at that Hub Life. It's a lot of organizations out here. Youth Street Leaders, Complex Vision. It's a lot of them that they really out here day for day stepping in and changing the community. So, like, that's how I want to see the world. Like, I just want to see more people tapping in. Like, right now, like, they doing great work, but it's a lot of other people out here that's credible, that been through hardships and been through hard lifestyles, and like they want to change too, but they'd rather sit around and talk about it amongst each other on how they don't understand certain things rather than actually go sit and have those conversations and change it.
Yeah,
you understand?
Man. And you know, it's all about putting the effort and the action behind your words, man. Putting in the work more than just talking about it, man. Because from my experience, you know, dealing with the youth, they need that and they want that. And if you real, they willing to accept that from you.
They our
but
future.
Absolutely. But they can see through the BS. You know what I mean? So if you come in, you gotta come correct, because the youth is not they're not slow about nothing, brother. They advanced. They way more advanced than us. And I'm talking about from the, you know what I mean, 3rd and 4th graders all the way up, bro. They sharp. The babies is coming and they sharp and they ready.
Exposed to a lot more, pardon me.
Absolutely, they are. And life moves a little faster for them, so they're able to take in the data a little quicker and faster and process a little quicker and faster if they not distracted. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You got to be able to keep their attention. Let's move on to the next question, my brother. What's a question that you've always wanted to be asked, but never have been asked?
That's a good question, for real. I ain't even gonna lie. That's a great question. I'm not too sure, for real. Like, I don't really like being asked questions. I really like asking the questions.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, I want insight on certain things. So
Yeah.
I guess it would be, what was it that changed me? Like, what was that moment, that defining moment for you that really made you decide that you don't want to be the same? Like, you want to grow and actually be something different. Like, what was that defining moment?
So I'm gonna pose that question.
My defining moment was when I got sentenced. Even though it wasn't that much time, I got sentenced to 5.5 to 12 years in state prison.
That's enough time, bro.
And when I got sentenced, I was cool. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I was regular, for real. You feel me? I wasn't really thinking about too much. It was just like, all right, it is what it is. Then when I went back to my cell, I started sitting and started really thinking. I'm like, damn, like, that's 5.5 years, nigga. Like, I'm gonna be like 26, 27. Bro. I'm like, dang.
That's a chunk of
I'm
your life.
still cool though. Look, I'm still cool. Like, I'm still all right. Then I got to thinking, I'm like, my little brother came into my head. And that's when it was like, I was like, damn, like, I said, my little brother, I said, he gonna be 21 by the time I come home. He was 15. I was like, he gonna be 21.
That's deep. That put it in
I was
perspective.
like, I'm gonna be able to have a drink with him. Like,
Word.
I'm 21 at the time, you feel me? So I'm like, damn, like, I'm like, he gonna be grown. Like, then I'm missing, like, major years. Like, the years that I'm missing is probably the most important years of his life. You feel me? Like, this is gonna help mold him to become the man that he gonna be. And I wasn't really, at that moment in time, I ain't gonna lie, like, the surrounding cast, like, my cousins and stuff that was around, like, everybody had their own stuff going on. So it was like, I wasn't as, like, I ain't know if they was gonna be able to do what I would do for my brother, as far as, like, mentally and making sure that he stay on the right path, and, like, the little things, you feel what I'm saying? Like just help him learn through their life lessons, you feel me? I wasn't too sure if they was gonna do that. So, like, when I thought about that shit hurt me. That shit was like, damn, bro, like that shit hurt me so much that I took a step back. Like, instead of going forward and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, like, I actually took a step back, like, for real. Like, and it made me, like, stay away from him for a little bit, because I was scared of what he might become. Like, and it took a while before I actually sat with him on a visit, and then we had, like, a conversation, and then, like, we came back together, started talking on the regular, and started growing, started helping him grow still, like, from where I was at.
Yeah, that's deep, man. Because you know, sometimes we don't think about the impact that being away from our family has on them, especially when we have that influence over them. And that's part of the damage that happens in our community when brothers are put in that position, and you know what I mean. The family is kind of left to kind of figure it out on their own, when the wisdom and the strength has been taken away like that. And sometimes other people, they can step in, but they don't have that same strength and that power. So that's what we got to think about, brothers and sisters, man, before we make certain decisions, because the system is quick to condemn us for just trying to survive. And you know, it's unfortunate in that manner, but we make do, man. We make ways for ourselves, the way as though we can not only just survive, but we can strive too.
Today, I ain't gonna lie, today actually made 8 years. I got locked up 8 years ago today.
Today.
So
this
October
is the anniversary
13th.
of
October
that.
13th, 2016.
Wow, brother. Wow. So all rules come together, man. And as you can see, man, I respect your growth and development since then. And I appreciate you taking them life lessons for yourself and seeing that it's something that I could do for myself to change it.
Yeah.
And not only change myself, but be a positive impact for the people around me.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what it was all about for me coming up, and that's really what is necessary for us to grow as a people, man. Like, it's going to be positive and negative in this life. As long as we could build more than we destroy, and as long as we could see our roles and our positions in either or, right? Either doing damage to our community or building our community. You know what I mean? I think it's important for us that even if we made mistakes in the past, to realize the mistakes we made and rectify that. Like, for instance, I noticed that the brother Akbar Prey came home, and he's a legend in Newark. If you from that era, you definitely heard this brother's name. And he was in a position in the community with a lot of power. And, you know, he got caught up in the negative aspect of the system. And he did a lot of years, and he recently came home, and he said he's home to rectify. He said, you know, he was, from what I heard him say, he was part of the problem before he left. Now he's coming home to be part of the solution. And we welcome you home, brother, with open arms, and we here to work with you, my brother. Let's move into the next question, Nyriq. This is a real conversation, man, and this is a conversation that we need to have. And you can have this conversation with yourselves, brothers and sisters, man. We all reflect, man. We all get to that point, even if it's not amongst other people, where we get with ourselves and we reflect, and we got to be real with ourselves. You know what I mean?
You gotta reflect to grow. If you
Got
don't
to,
reflect,
got
you
to.
won't grow as a person.
So you got to do that to grow, man. And that's what it's about. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? Dead or alive?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, it'd probably be Malcolm X for real. Like, he went to prison. He lived the wrong way, went to prison, and he got insight while he was in there. And what he did with his insight and the way that he grew and just touched the masses, like he touched the people and he relayed the word. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, he said the things that he needed to say to get to where he wanted to get to. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and he changed a lot of people's lives. That,
Absolutely.
like, that's the most important part. He changed a lot of people's lives, like, as far as
Throughout the world.
yeah, throughout the world. And like a lot of people was probably on the wrong path, and when they seeing him change and become who he is, then like they looked at life a little different. Like, damn, if he did it, maybe I could do it. Maybe I could change the trajectory of the way that I'm going, and I could probably change my family future, and because I feel like that, like, that's very important. Like, I feel like it'd be a great conversation too. Like, I feel like I'll learn a lot. I feel like that's the person who I could learn the most from because of his journey. Like, mainly going to prison and like
Changing his life.
understanding how to stay consistent with the change. That, most importantly, like how to stay consistent with the change as far as coming home and being consistent and not going astray from your journey for nothing or no one.
It's dope that you said Malcolm X, because that's definitely one of my mentors and heroes, indirectly. And one of the things that had a powerful impact on my life was reading his autobiography. So I was able to kind of jump in his mind a little bit from reading his story. And I think one of the things that kept him consistent when he came home from prison was having that community to hold him down and having a purpose, right? By that time when he came home, he was embraced by the community and he was given a purpose, and he ran with it because he knew that's what God put him on the planet to do. And the rest was history, man. And it's still deep lessons in his speeches and his writings that we can still benefit from and take heed to now, because he was never off the mark what was going on in society, and his truth reigns true now more than ever. So brothers and sisters, if you never have read the autobiography of Malcolm X, I suggest you do so. that's an excellent read.
I actually had the opportunity to go to his grave site for his birthday this year. So that was like a crazy experience. Like I learned a lot. Like I learned a lot there.
Yeah,
like, it
man.
was like just take it in. Like it was a moment.
I was fortunate enough to spend a day with one of Malcolm X's mentors. If y'all know Isham Jabba out of Elizabeth, I may be pronouncing his name wrong. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. I know how important this brother is to our community. But I was able to spend a day with him, and he taught me so many lessons just observing him. And I was able to have a conversation with him. And this is the brother who gave Malcolm X his shahada into Sunni Islam. And after he departed from the Nation of Islam, and he just gave me some good advice, man, on how to get through college, coming by way of the streets, and focus on what I really needed to focus on, and get my degree so I could come back and have an impact in my community. Because there was certain challenges I was facing in college that was put there to make sure I didn't succeed, and he helped me see past that and get through that. So Malcolm was definitely tapped into the community, and Malcolm was still learning up until the time that he departed from us. He still was learning, and that's definitely a great example for me, myself, and for our whole community and the world. So we're gonna move on to we're gonna switch it up and move on to some different type of questions as far as standing on your business and being professional and moving forward in a more organized and concise manner when trying to get your goals accomplished, coming from where we come from, be it just not getting that training from home, or being distracted in the streets, or just never knowing how to move in a professional setting. Some of us, we have to be taught that, because we used to living it raw. You know what I mean? So the first question is basically, what inspired you to do what you do now and follow your current passion?
Like just being around the youth and like seeing the way that they think now. You feel what I'm saying? It made me realize like I was trying to change my family. Like a lot of people who was adults and already molded into the way that they are.
Yeah.
And then it was like, damn, like you can't change no grown person. You feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta catch them while they're young. Like it made me start realizing like the change. If you feel like you want to change somebody or make a change in this world, you gotta touch the youth. So
That's absolutely.
and then you gotta be vocal. So they can understand you. Like I don't talk a lot. You feel what I'm saying? But when I do talk, I try to say something as meaningful as possible. Like I feel like if there's nothing to be said, then don't say nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like just stay to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, but when there's a jewel that need to be dropped or input, you feel what I'm saying? Like something that you feel super passionate about, I feel like that you should say it, and you should get the point across in the right manner to where it's understanding, and that's what I used to do. Like, and it just helped me start opening up as a person, start seeing like how they interact and how they, you know what I mean, like the things that they doing for the youth, like how they being there. Like I'm used to just being there for my family.
Yeah.
So I started like friends, you know what I mean? I'll be there for friends, like people who I got love for, and starting to be there for people who I don't got no attachments to, and growing to start to care about them. You feel what I'm saying? Like that was major. It made me start looking at things different. Like then the things that I was placed around, like the people that they placed me around, as far as like certain things that they was doing, like events and stuff that was taking place, and just being in those environments and just looking like I love to learn. So like I learned a lot. I feel like I learned a lot from the Hub, from New Direct, from all the organizations that I named earlier. Like I definitely learned a lot from them, and it helped me realize that I got a voice that need to be heard.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can see the impact that the brothers and sisters that's involved with those organizations have on a community. And it's one thing that I admire about you, and just watching your strive, that you're open and willing to learn, and you have a certain humbleness about you, whereas though if you know the information that's right and exact, you're going to take it in and take heed and move with it accordingly. It's a lot of brothers that don't even seek that. You know what I mean? They may stay in that space of confusion and instead of reaching out and trying to find out what's going on from brothers that may have certain answers for them, their ego or their pride keep them isolated from that. So I know with me growing up, it was pivotal, man, for me to get that wisdom from the elders to steer me kind of right, because when I was young, I was a little arrogant and thought I knew more than I did. Mm-hmm. And the more I learned, the more I realized what I didn't know. And that still continues to this day.
It's just not too many people out here right now. I feel like I'm older, so I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29. Ain't too many people out here that's older than me. Like, it is, but not in this. Like, I wasn't tapped in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't in tune. Like, I just was I was focusing, trying to get my life together for real. So I wasn't really in tune to be able to seek that type of information and just like I feel like everybody needs somebody to learn from. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Or like in life in general, like, and it's like I got multiple lanes that I want to get into. You feel what I'm saying? As far as like, I'm not just on one thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like I got a journey that I'm trying. You mean like a lot of different things that I'm interested in doing, like financially. You mean like financial literacy? Like I took classes upstate, financial literacy classes and stuff like that. So that's the entrepreneur classes, and I could have got my CPA, but COVID hit, like for accounting and stuff. So it was like,
that's what's up. You still can, brother. You still
a lot.
can.
It's a lot that I want to do. So they just getting insight in as many different lanes as I can. You feel what I'm saying? So when I do get to where I need to be, like, I got resources to be able to, you feel what I'm saying? Like, when I do get to where I want to go, like, I know who I want to invest into, or you feel what I'm saying, or who I want to partner with, and things like that. Like, and it's gonna take time for me to get to where I'm going, but I'm going. It's happening.
You see the vision, man. You see the vision, and one thing about having a vision and holding it, I know from my own personal experiences, God gonna open them doors for you. Sometimes you might not even see them doors for yourself, but God already got you in rooms that you don't even know you in. Your name is ringing in rooms you don't even know yet. You know what I mean? And as long as you keep striving towards that, and like Malcolm did, tap in to where as though you could stay on that path, you good. God gonna take care of the rest, man. And that's a fact. Let's move on to the next question, right? I think this is a good question. The one coming after that is the question I really want to get your answer to. But with this question is, what's a book or a movie that has had a profound impact on your life?
I ain't gonna lie, this is a simple book too. It's Who Moves Your Cheese?
Oh yeah,
by Deepak Mathur.
Yeah,
it's a little book.
Yeah,
it's a little book. My man Rock, shout out to Rock from Chester, PA. He from Nook though. He was born in Nook and all. He grew up in PA. He ended up catching a case or whatever the case may be. He got a life sentence. We used to always build. He used to be like, yo, you self-reflect. Like, used to always let me know things about myself that I may not have seen in that moment in time. And Rock sharp OG, like he super knowledgeable. You feel me? All he do is read, play ball. Like, you feel me? One of the best balls in the state. Rock, I'm gonna shout you. I'm gonna let them know out here. But Rock different. Like, he gave me that book, and he was like, yo, he gave it to me and my man Milwaukee. Like, we were Cellies. Me and Milwaukee was Cellies at the time, and shit, because of COVID or whatever. He like, yo, I want y'all opinion on this book. Like, yo, just read it. It's a short read. Like, cause I be playing sometimes. Like, I get a book, I'll play with it. Like, read a couple, you know what I mean, put it back down. Like, all right, like, you feel what I'm saying? So
if it don't grab you,
you know what I mean? I skim through, or like somebody else be like, yo, nah, like this joint. I'm like, all right, let me get back into it, or whatever the case may be. So he like, yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like, he like read it. Like, I really want to like read. That's just joint short. Like, you will run right through it, or whatever. Like, so I read it, and my man read it. We started going to the yard, started talking about it, like. And just like how people, like, what I took from it is how people get caught up like some me's. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how other people controlling your life. You feel what I'm saying? You might not even know it. And how many people conform to being comfortable with people controlling their life and don't even want insight on that it's happening. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it showed basically like out of the whole community, it was 3 people who actually wanted to know. Like, and one of them, it took longer to actually, you know what I mean? It took him longer. It took him to see other people do it, to want insight and be like, damn, like hold up, like
what's
what
really
is going on? Like, you feel what I'm
word,
saying?
word.
Like, and when he escaped, he the one who never came back. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Deep. Yeah, man. Deep lessons in that book as well. One of the things I got from it was just being able to adapt to situations without being overwhelmed by them, so you can see your way through that maze.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's major though. I ain't gonna lie. See,
Absolutely.
everybody got a different insight on that. That's a book that's so small, and if you give it to 5 different people, they all gonna have a different outlook on the
take.
book. Because it was 4 of us who used to have the conversations, and we all had different outlooks. And when just like if you say something, I'm like, damn, like I'm learning from what you're saying. I'm learning from what he's saying. We all learning from each other because everybody took the book in a different manner.
Yeah.
So it was like, dang, like
Profound. And
yeah.
the simplest wisdom be the most profound.
Yeah.
You know, from my experience. We had mentioned another book on the last podcast. It's a book called Uncle Yaya, 21st Century Wise Man. And it was written by Al Dickens. That's another book. Al Dickens is a brother from Newark who wrote this book when he was in prison. And real simple parables, profound. Definitely had an impact on my life. This next question, I'm very interested in your response to this question, because we touched on it in our own conversations, but I definitely want to get your take on it now, right? So how do you handle stress and maintain a work-life balance when dealing with the society, working 9 to 5 or family or friends or whatever the case may be? How do you maintain that work-life balance without getting overwhelmed?
I ain't even gonna lie. Like I like to spend time with like a sharp female, like a female who got like a lot of strength. Like I don't like. I'm at the point in my life for real. Like I ain't chasing sex for real. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like that shit meaningful. Like it don't really mean nothing for real. Like I went so long without it. Like it's like I'm building and I'm grown as a man. So
Focus, brother.
And then my family is super important. So it's like I gotta be there for them more. Like mentally, that is a dream. You don't even like if you really doing what you're supposed to be doing out here, and you not where you want to be, you not even gonna want, like, you ain't gonna be even thinking about it. Like it's gonna be, you ain't even gonna think, it ain't even gonna cross your mind. But like a strong female, like they could, like I like to spend time with a strong female, who got some intellect and good energy. Like you feel me? Like the energy real strong. Like they going, when you throw your dreams, and like when you bounce off of them, like they receiving everything that you putting out into the universe. You feel what I'm saying? And they bouncing it, they throwing it back to you, like
right back.
On some like I feel like every man need that. Like every striving man need that. Like,
Absolutely.
Like it's more than just the beauty and the brains and all that. It's about
The
like,
energy
who you
and
is
what
as a
they
person.
coming with, man.
Yeah.
I was told, coming up, one of the things I was told was to make sure that it adds on and doesn't take away. So, I always look for a female in my life that was adding on to what I was doing and wasn't taking away. And, fortunately, I was able to recognize that when it came and hold on to that. And right now, that's the better half of me. That's the strength for me. You know what I mean? Like, we hold each other up and we both hold it down. And I couldn't do anything that I'm doing in my life without my better half. So shout out to my wife. Love you, baby.
Shout out to her.
Next question, brother. And you kind of touched on that, right? What's your favorite way to unwind and recharge outside of the answer that you just gave?
Outside of the answer that I just gave, alone time. I like to spend a lot of time by myself, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like, I like to be by myself. Like, 'cause when you by yourself, it's nothing like being alone and actually getting the chance to self-reflect and look within.
That's right.
Like, you can't look within when you distract with a bunch of distractions around you. And I like to look within and see what I done right and what I have done wrong. You feel me? Like, what I done that affected me. Like, for real, I like to see what affected me in the worst ways. You feel me? Like, I don't really like to look on the good that I've done, because the good that I do will never stop. Like, that's something that will never stop. So, you feel me? If I do look into the good things that I do, I just look at how can I do it better, or how can I give a little bit more? You feel me? But as far as right now in my life, I'm not in the position to be able to give more than what I'm giving already. So I try to look at the things that I do wrong in life, like the things that's not so honorable, or you feel what I'm saying? Like,
that you can grow.
Like that you could grow off of. Like, as far as like I'm a man, you feel me? Like, I got flaws, like just like every other man, you feel me? I'm not perfect, so like looking with those imperfections and just seeing, like, picking. Like, it's like a Rolodex.
Yeah.
Like, you looking through it and you picking which one you need to work on in that moment in time, and you take it out and you work on it. You write down your notes and what you need to do, and then you put it back in. But it helped change who you are. It helped change who you are. So now when you going through that file, that Rolodex, it's things that you're working on, and before you know it, every card would be a positive notion. Like, nothing would be negative. So it'd be like, that's helping you grow as a man, and then you still got to go in the stash and pull out that other Rolodex.
I was going to say that, because
it's always going to be
there's
work
always
to do.
There's always work to do. I was going to say that, and I love your answer, man. I was definitely going to add on to that, because somebody gave it to me. They said we perfectly imperfect, and that comes with just accepting, you know what I mean, what you could work on,
Most definitely.
and just striving day by day to make it better, and not being hard on yourself about it either, not judging yourself either. Like, and this is something I'm still working on.
Yeah.
Like, coming to that space where you could see it and analyze it, and kind of be detached from the sting of it. You know
Most
what I mean?
definitely. Because
sometimes it's hard, man. That's what keep a lot of us from self-reflecting. It's hard to just look at, some of the not so great things that you may have done, and figure out, like, how could I have done that better? But I found it a little bit easier when you kind of step back from judging it, and just understanding that we all perfectly imperfect.
Yeah,
like,
most
we
definitely.
perfectly who we are in our imperfection, because we wouldn't be here if we didn't have room to grow.
I learned that. I feel like the reason why I learned that, because looking within other people, for real, honestly. Like, that's how I learned to look deeper within myself, because of the way that I look into other people. It's like, all right, like, they did that. Like, for you to calm down and you feel me, like, to change, if you got anger, if you out there and you got anger and you want to change that, you got to look into other people. Like, that's how you change within, for real, is because you'll be able to understand why people do the things that they do. And once you understand, your reaction gonna be different, because it's gonna be like, damn, all right, if I was in his shoes, I probably would have done the same thing, or I may have done worse.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because when you not trying to understand somebody, then it's all bad. You feel what I'm saying? How can you understand yourself if you don't understand what's going on around you?
And we can make assumptions on things if we don't get that clarification and understanding, and be running in a total different direction than what it really
definitely
is.
Gotta listen.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
listen.
important. That's important. I don't want this episode to extend too long, right? So we already at the 45-minute mark. We're gonna go to about an hour, but we got 5 more questions that we gotta knock out. So we're gonna run through these questions. We're not gonna rush, but we're gonna run through the questions. I just want the audience to know where we at, just in case, y'all a little bit impatient.
Most definitely. We're gonna give it to them though. They gonna get it.
Yeah,
they gonna get it.
Absolutely, man. We love y'all, man. That's why we doing this, man. And we here to grow. And if you have questions for us, man, feel free, man, to put them in the comments. Shoot them out to us, man. If you want to come here and build with us, man, check our email. Hit us on the email.
Most
Book
definitely.
an appointment, man. Come check us out, man. Ascending Masters Podcast, man. Love y'all, man. So next question, man, is going into, like, what we building on with growth and development, right? And We love audience engagement. So make sure y'all hit us in the comments and let us know what y'all think and any questions. But this question I'm gonna pose to you, Nyriq, how can listeners apply the insights from our conversation that we're having today and the things that you learned in life and apply it into their own lives, whereas though it's beneficial for them in their growth and development?
Self-reflection. Take what we saying and look within. Look within and understand whatever it is that we said that applies to you. Look within and get some alone time. Look within and let it sink in and get understanding on how this affected your life or how it affected the lives around you, and just be at peace with it. Like, come to terms with it and just start to change. Like, self-reflection is the window to change. So as long as you self-reflect, you will change. Just take it and dwell on it and reflect.
That is a fact, my brother. That is a fact. That's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, that has helped me in my life and continues to help me in my life. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm kind of like eclectic in certain ways. I'm a little different, and I'm a humanitarian, but I'm not so much as a extrovert, right? I'm more of an introvert.
Oh,
so
definitely.
for me, reflecting and having that alone time was always like salvation for me, man. The way as though I could just tune in to the point where I could just detach from everything that's going on outside of self, quiet my mind, and get that insight from the inner source. The way as though if I follow that advice, that whisper, that strength, that authority, but it's not a shouting voice, it's a gentle whispering voice, but it has so much authority coming from within. You know this is the higher power talking to you.
Most
you know?
definitely.
So from them reflections, them self-reflections, I was able to tap into that voice and listen to it and follow it for the most part, you know what I mean? And I learned that when I didn't follow that insight, it was a little bit harder for me to move through. And when I did follow that insight, it was smooth sailing. So I try to stay in tune with that through self-reflection. And as a people, man, once we tap into that,
It's over with.
sky is no limit, bro.
Real.
You know what I mean? Next question, my brother. What is a practical first step the audience could take to explore the topic that we discussing? So when we talking about self-reflection, right? A lot of people, they may say like they're too busy. They don't have time. There's a lot going on in their life. And the only time they have is when they taking it down to go to bed. Like, how would you tell them to approach self-reflecting in a way that would be practical for them and beneficial for them?
All right. I actually, I'm gonna tell you to find time. Like, I know a lot of people out there don't have time. I'm gonna tell you to find it though, because of the simple fact that I took myself through a lot more than I had to take myself through because I wasn't finding time for myself. And this is something that I just went through recently. And my mother, thank you to my mother. Shout out to my mom and shit. Like, she made me take a trip this year for my birthday that I didn't want to, and we argued about it. Like, on something like, yo, I'm not going. Like, you feel me? Like, I got stuff I'm trying to get to and stuff I'm trying to figure out.
I ain't trying to chill.
Like ain't no chill. You feel me? Word. And she like, no, she booked it and then told me. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I don't got no choice. I gotta go. You feel me? I ain't gonna make her, you know what I mean? Like, so I go. And when I went and I actually got peace of mind, like, and just time to myself to just really like it was like, damn, it was much needed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, conversations with loved ones, like, even if you got kids and a person that you lean on got kids, like a family member or a friend, y'all go find that time to be around each other and to look within, you feel me? Like, to help each other get through those times, and or favor for a favor. A friend might need her kids watch their kids, or as men, the same thing vice versa. Like, if you too busy running around and you being there for your family in ways that other people, you need the mental break. You need the mental break to be able to keep going on. Like, the men who don't get those mental breaks end up breaking down. So
it's so vital.
You want to keep your engine running. You want to keep going. You want to continue to be strong for your family, and you the one that they lean on. So you gotta be strong for them at all times, and you can't be strong for them. You can't be strong for yourself.
That's a fact. And what you said is the answer. Find the time. Even if it's 5 minutes, man. Even if it's 2 minutes. Even if it's the 15 minutes before you fall asleep when you laying down at night. Find that time to clear your mind, embrace self, and reflect on whatever you're going through from a detached, non-judgmental standpoint, and embrace that peace, man, that inner peace. And I'm telling you, man, your life will change, man, and you will be able to move through it, change and move through it in a way where that peace just follows you and it moves with you, even in the midst of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
You will still have some semblance of peace to roll
People
with
be trying to figure you out and understand, like, damn, what's up with this boy? Like, why he
he
so calm and why he so unbothered? It's because of the simple fact that you giving yourself time, like, and you understanding what's going on around you and why it's going on around you. You feel what I'm saying?
And accepting it, embracing it, accepting the
and
change,
being one with it. Because this is where you at this stage of your life. This is a part of your journey. You meant to be here.
That's right.
You meant to be in the position that you in right now, and you're gonna grow through that. But if you don't understand why you're here and why you're going through this, then it's gonna be impossible to transition. You're gonna get stuck within transition, and that's when people get uncomfortable and they start do things that they don't want to do, or that's not meant for them. They start to go astray from their journey.
That's right. The hand get forced in a situation that's not the best for them.
Most definitely.
Yep. So now, Nyriq, next question, my brother. Can you share a personal challenge or goal that you're currently working on?
Personal challenge or goal. Personal challenge right now is I'm trying to level up. Like, where I'm trying to go in life, and just like, for real, learn from me. I've been so focused on being there because I've been gone and being present now and being in people's lives that I've been hurting myself and not getting the little things done. You feel what I'm saying? Not even the big things yet. If I get the little things done, the big things will come. Like, I'll be 30 next year, and I plan on being a homeowner.
That's what's up.
Next year, so I got to do the little things before this year is over and get myself in position to be able to be that homeowner by the end of next year. You feel what I'm saying? So just working within. Like, I'm still working on myself, so... You know what I mean? As I'm working on myself, I hope that you guys out there working on yourself too and growing just as much as I am.
That's right, man. And that's an achievable goal.
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
As long as you see yourself with it now and you put yourself in that space, God is gonna open them doors, man, to lay it right in front of you.
I've been saying it for about 8 years since I got sentenced. Before I'm
it's
30, I'm going to be a homeowner. So before I'm 30, I'm going to have that house.
It
already happened for real. My mind, it happened already.
That's right. And that's the key to manifestation, man. See it for yourself. Live in that space now.
Most
and watch how quick God manifests it for you. Next question, my brother. And this is the last question for this episode. And we're going to continue the episodes and we're going to continue this conversation because it's needed. Not just for ourselves, but for our community on a whole. And we know how important it is for us to have this dialogue. So I'm going to hit you with this question. What message or advice would you like to convey to our listeners as we wrap up this episode?
Just stay consistent. Stay consistent. Consistency and discipline is the key to everything. As long as you continue to work on yourself and continue to grow, you're going to be fine. Like, ain't nothing out here that's going to be able to stop you. And then finding understanding yourself, understanding who you are and what's your journey, the journey that you on. As long as you understand those three things and come to terms with being, like, not being able to do things that you want to do in certain moments in time. And, like, we hold ourselves back. We our biggest enemy. When you look in the mirror, that's your biggest enemy.
Yep.
You feel me? And it's also your biggest motivator. So it's either you're going to allow yourself to be your enemy or you're going to allow yourself to be your biggest motivator. It's up to you. It's a decision that you got to make at the end of the day. But like definitely look in that mirror and understand you. You know what I mean? Before you try to understand anybody else.
That's a fact. Nyriq, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure. I really appreciate your input and your insight. And these questions was meant to delve into the conversation and to give the greater community, man, a piece of ourselves and give some insight on where we coming from. And we definitely accomplished that. And like we said, brothers and sisters, this forum is open for y'all. We would love y'all input. You know, we not with the negative. If you got constructive criticism, we accept that. But don't come with the negative comments just off the cuff because you're dealing with whatever insecurities you dealing with, bro.
For real.
So let's keep it 100, man. We keeping it 100 with our conversation. And we extending ourselves, man. You know what I mean? This is, you know, for me, it's something that I feel as though God wanted me to do all my life, but the timing wasn't right. Now the timing is right. Now God is telling me to put myself out there for our community because what we got, what we experienced, what we learned, what we know, and just our life example. Myself, the brother Nyriq, other you know, brothers and sisters that we look forward to having on this platform have a message that is so important for our people in this day and time, man. We not here just to survive. We're here to strive, and we're with people that have a foundation like none other, brother. Our foundation is infinite. You know what I mean? Our wisdom traverses the whole universe, and we here on earth as a representation of that. We've always been royal people. You know what I mean? Some of us to greater degrees, some of us to lesser degrees, but we all royal. And we here to uplift each other. We here to hold each other accountable, and we here to grow, develop, and strive and make this world a better place, man. So thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Hit us in the comments. Love, like, subscribe. You know what I mean? Watch the full interview. Peace, brothers and sisters.
Peace.
Ascended Masters Podcast.